King by Elliott Hulse, an animated book summary by Alexander Sandalis. Neuromuscular Strength Part 2. So Strength Camp's method of training centers around these 4 pillars to build a strong, athletic, durable body. This is structure, strength, speed, and silence. And it's really important to note before we dive into them that these methods that Strength Camp holds are methodical and purposeful. So many people are doing random exercises, simply going through the motions. Just go to your average gym, you'll see it all the time. We see people just working out. This is a problem that Chris noted in the book, and I wanted to emphasize here. He noted that, working out and training are 2 different things. And Joe DeFranco talked about this in one of his podcasts, and he exemplified the point really well, basically that working out implies there is no progression, no specific timely goals or a way to measure your goals. Basically, random actions. And random actions produce random results. But training, on the other hand, is focused. Training is a long process of attaining a specific goal that is trackable. Each day is a piece of a puzzle, and each training day will influence the next. Thus, progress is ensured through consistency of following a program with intensity for a long duration of time. This is the difference between training and working out, and this is why I always try and catch myself by always saying, training, I'm going to go train instead of work out. And maybe you think semantics aren't important, but the semantics have a connotation behind it. The words have a meaning behind it, and the meaning of the word influences the behavior. The behavior causes the effect. Thus, I think it's important. Structure. Arguably, this is the most important phase of training, and I would agree with Chris here. This idea of building structure is correcting muscular imbalances, postural abnormalities, and building a strong foundation. It's addressing these neuromuscular issues that arise in our body that causes pain and inefficiencies. And this can be done through sitting for long periods of time, through poor positioning, through athletic movements or basic walking, or any movements that can cause this. And correcting these imbalances involves lengthening shortened, tight muscles with soft tissue work. It can be foam rolling or using a lacrosse ball. It can be mobilizing joints through certain movements and activating and strengthening weak muscles. That's a whole nother topic in itself that I could go into, but for the purpose of the video, I'm not going to. If you're genuinely curious on understanding those things, look up a coach called Kelly Starrett. So after we've addressed arguably the most important part, structure, the first thing, we're now able to move the body more efficiently and increase the athlete's potential for high performance and work capacity. If you're not an athlete, even though I consider everybody an athlete, have the potential to be, then it increases your capacity to live at a more comfortable, enjoyable level without pain. Strength, just simply put, our body's ability to overcome resistance. The prerequisite for strength, serious strength, is building a solid structure and foundation, which is what we did previously. When you are stronger, all of a sudden, you're beating the guys on the field or on the court who used to push you around. And, maybe you have kids, or maybe you have little nieces and nephews, and suddenly they seem lighter when you go to pick them up, and you no longer need a couple trips back to grab a suitcase or grab some groceries. You can lift that bag up above your head much easier. So it's not just sport, it's everyday activities that just become easier and less painful. And generally speaking, I have to emphasize this, people get very agitated when they hear things like this. Lifting heavy weights for low reps is the usual formula for increasing strength. Very simple terms. But this is obviously not the only way to increase maximal strength. Speed. The speed phase is about expressing structure and strength in a dynamic manner. Dynamic meaning quickly with force. If you're the biggest guy on the field but can't move well or quick enough, then you've drastically limited your usefulness in sports. Hence the reason you do not see bodybuilders being quick, strong, powerful, fast athletes. They have a different purpose. The key for an athlete is to increase strength and muscle mass while remaining mobile, agile, and quick. Speed is a direct result of building a foundation, strengthening it, and then allowing the body to perform it with explosive power. It's a long, patient process. Lastly, silence. Silence is about removing stressful stimulation from the body. Training hard means focusing on recovery just as hard. We want to have activities that will stimulate our parasympathetic nervous system, such as the soft tissue work we were talking about before, myotherapy, yoga, foam rolling, meditation, cold and heat stress such as sauna and ice baths. Or it can just be, taking a week, 2 weeks, however much time off after you've completed, a pretty taxing competitive phase. Maybe you're an NBA player, you just competed in the playoffs, maybe you just had a long bout of high intensity competition, and now you need to let your nervous system to recover and your body and mind to repair. But this doesn't mean you're doing nothing. An off week when I was at the Australian College of Basketball would include pool and beach recovery sessions, foam rolling sessions, weekly myotherapy, and they still get us to do light resistance training to make sure we're still moving our bodies, to make sure we're still promoting positive habits. But silence really should be for every single human being who aims at optimal performance within their mind and body. It should be a daily ritual, a daily routine if you really care about this. The next King animated summary will cover lesson 1 of structure as we dive into the specifics of structural integrity, which includes the 4 power centers of the body. Thank you so much for watching. I want to ask something of you. If each of you know someone who could take value from this video or this King series, please share it with them. It'd mean a lot.